Mushroom Man,
Hey,
also known as
DJ.
AKA one of my very best friends. So you've been playing Disgaea.
Yes, I have.
Disgaea, great guy.
Yeah, you got him. But yes, I've been playing Disgaea. I'm a huge Disgaea fan. I've been playing it like probably since like elementary. My favorite one by far is Disgaea 2. I just love the story and the characters and the soundtrack and just the vibe about it, just great. But yeah, I played every Disgaea game. Essentially, I played every Disgaea game, but I've only beaten Disgaea 1 through 5 and D2, which is a direct sequel of the first Disgaea game.
I haven't played any of them. I tried getting into the series, and I think it's a game series that I want to get into. Some are connected, some are not. I'm a big story first kind of guy. And I know that even if I were to jump into a random Disgaea game, I know I'll be in for a good narrative adventure, right? So Disgaea 7, thank you so much, by the way, to NIS America for providing to me a review code of the game. I was able to let Mr. Mushroom himself go through this game.
And honestly, what an honor.
Yeah, man.
What an honor.
First early game, dude.
I know, that it did. It really did. I'm like, these people.
Like you install it on the system and you're like, no one else has this installed except for like a couple other people. I played the demo, and even, I don't know, did you play the demo before you played the full game?
No.
Yeah, so the demo has story to it.
Yeah.
Maybe if y'all are in the comments, sound off in the comments if what the situation is. But the story presented in the demo, it did not feel like it was just the beginning of the game. The story of the demo immediately, like you're in some sort of feudal Japan kind of situation, and then your main demon guy just like shows up. He appears, and you have like a little, I don't know, cutscene situation with them. And then basically, I can't remember if there's a battle that you do right there, but then you're immediately thrown into, what is it called? The like the whole like hub area.
Yeah, the hub area. It's like the.
Is it the underworld?
It's the Netherworld. Yeah.
So you do that. You have all these characters. I've never played a Disgaea game before, so I don't know what the Netherworld is. And
it's just the underworld.
So I think one of the Prinnies.
Yeah, Prinny. They're like the Pikachus of the franchise.
Right. Yeah, it's like the mascot.
Yeah.
So I basically was just like, I have no idea what's happening. The gameplay I enjoyed.
Nice.
I like tactical RPGs.
Yeah.
I like Fire Emblem. I like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Absolutely.
I
Bangers.
like Triangle Strategy.
Nice. Dumb name, but yeah.
Like what is the Disgaea series? And then once you've explained that, give us a little rundown of what is Disgaea 7.
So Disgaea is a series where, demons in a netherworld, or because each game, you're in a netherworld, like has their own universe and stuff like that. Usually every game follows like some demon prince and doing like their own little wacky adventures. Like the Disgaea series, they have story, but they don't take themselves seriously because it's anime. They're pretty wacky about everything. They do have their serious moments, but they are pretty wacky about it. And like you can see it with like whenever you look at the description of the weapons, for example, like they always have some weird, funny description about them and things like that. It's very, very, very grind heavy. But the thing about like as you play newer Disgaea games, they do a lot more to make the grinding less of a chore, and like you just level up quick. Like in Disgaea 7, there's so many instances, like they had so many different things you could do to like make leveling up super easy. Because like, for example, I even was like, as I was playing Disgaea 7, I was playing my favorite game, Disgaea 2. The leveling up in Disgaea 2 compared to Disgaea 7 feels like such a slog. Like it takes
something
long.
about 2, right? Disgaea 2, Kingdom Hearts 2,
yeah,
Final Fantasy 2.
Final Fantasy 2. I don't know if I would put Final Fantasy 2 in there.
Best games,
absolutely. Like I remember you asked me like, when it's just like as we were preparing for this, like, do I think that Disgaea 7 is a game somebody who's never played Disgaea before could play? And at first I was gonna say no, but now that I think about it, yes, you can. Because each Disgaea game, except for Disgaea 2, you can play without knowing anything else about the other Disgaea games. And also in terms of the gameplay, again, like I said, they add so much to it where it's like, leveling up isn't nearly as much of a chore compared to like the older Disgaea games. So I would say like, honestly, yeah, probably you could play Disgaea 7 or 5 as like your first Disgaea game, and then I would say go back and play the older ones, just because again, like, they're not as advanced as the more recent ones.
So there's no story crossover for Disgaea 7 to other.
As
Disgaea
far
games?
as I'm aware, no, because as of this video, I'm in the middle of chapter 7 out of 14.
Okay, so you're over the halfway point.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've played a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
So let me like.
I will say though, there is an instance that happened in the story, if you know what I'm talking about, in the, I believe, chapter 4, to where there's just like a character that showed up where I was like, what? But I don't think it's what I think it is. So I don't think so. I'll leave it at that.
So is it like, okay, I don't know, but like,
Yeah, I know.
So let's say you come to the end of the game though, and all of that stuff's canon. Do you think maybe someone might have a better time with its plot and its story if they played through other Disgaea games before this one? Or do you think it even really matters? You'll think you'll still have a good time with that character?
100%. But I mean, obviously it's like you'd appreciate it more if you played the older games. But I 100% believe that you could play Disgaea 7 having played none of the other Disgaea games. Because it was the same thing with like, Disgaea 3, I could play it and it has nothing to do with 1 and 2. Same thing with 4 and 5.
What's the story about? What is Disgaea 7
So
about?
Disgaea 7, you're in feudal Japan, and basically there's this character, I believe her name's Himeko. I can't fully remember their names, but there's like this girl who's like basically a weeb. She's an otaku, and she is like so obsessed with Japanese culture, and I love how she even like pronounces some of the Japanese words completely incorrectly. Like sushi, she said like sushi or something like that.
Sushi's correct.
Yeah, it's sushi, guys. But yeah, it's basically just like this total just loser weeb who's like super rich.
You hear that?
Your standard weeb.
You hear that?
But yeah, and she goes to the field of Japan because she's like so obsessed with like samurais and thinks they're really cool. But then when she gets there, she realizes like these samurais aren't nearly as awesome as like they're supposed to be that I've heard from my father. And like we learned that like the
Dad's
samurais,
lie, dude.
Yeah,
Dad's
lie. That's true. The father right here, and basically like the samurai have like lost their Bushido code because like the current shogun of the world is like this corrupt ruler and basically just like making the feudal Japan more like advanced and like just like adding all these things that make the world suck and stuff like that. If you've seen One Piece, it's kind of like that.
Pretty early on, do you have an idea of like what your goal is? Like,
Yeah, 100%. Because your main character shows up. Forgot his name, but he's a badass. I love him. He's already.
I like him too.
Yeah, he's really cool. And
I like his voice acting as well.
Yeah, for sure. And like, what was his catchphrase? What's his catchphrase? Absolutely, but he has another one too. I was like, I don't remember what he says it every time he pops in. I don't remember. I'm a fake Disgaea fan. But yeah, so the main character Disgaea 7, his goal is that he's like super in debt, and he meets this rich girl who clearly just like spends money like it's nothing. And then he's like, wait a minute, I can make a deal with her. And so they get into shenanigans where, she wants to restore the Bushido code. And he's like, hey, I mean, I'll help you out with all these different things, but we got to make a deal. So like he kind of like bribes her into this deal where it's like, I'll help you out for like 100 million hell. And then even like charges her 20 million hell in interest.
Hell is the currency?
Yeah, HL. That's the currency.
Badass.
Very badass, yeah. I think there's like 7 ancient weapons. And she just automatically has the first one, and so they gotta like go and get the other 6 from the shogun to, I guess, restore the Bushido code. That's basically the plot of Disgaea 7. Is to the weeb rich girl wants to restore the Bushido code, and the main guy wants to get out of debt.
Before we talk about gameplay, mechanics, and things like that, I do want to talk about the presentation a little bit. We're talking about the music for a little bit. Let's talk about music, visuals, style. Like what's this game about stylistically, man?
Stylistically, I like it. I mean, obviously, a lot of people, when Disgaea 6 was first announced, the jump to 3D was very weird.
6 was the first 3D one. Everything else was 2D before it?
Yes, before that, yeah. And like, it definitely was jarring, and that was one of the main reasons why I barely played. Like, I really only played like an hour of Disgaea 6. That first jump to 3D was like so jarring, but Disgaea 7 is definitely a huge improvement in a lot of those ways compared to 6, and like the 3D art style looks a lot better, the gameplay looks nicer, just everything about it looks great.
I was gonna ask, most of the reception I've seen online is that 6 is like the black sheep.
Yeah, 6 is 100%.
It's the Final Fantasy 7 of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I don't like in terms of the presentation is the fact that like in most Disgaea games, I think even in 6 they do this where like, if you've seen this, whenever they're playing the game, like it'll look visual novel kind of style. It's like just them talking and stuff like that. But usually a lot of the times there'll even be like cutscenes of their characters, of like their sprites, like doing animations and like moving around and jumping and like doing fights and stuff like that, like within the world that they're in. But in Disgaea 7, it's just visual novel. Because in Disgaea 1 through 5, they got rid of it since 6. There would always be like an animated opening cutscene, like kind of like
that's not here.
No. In 6 or 7, there's not like an anime intro, because like they did on all the other things. It was great. It was like good, like getting you into it.
I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Ys 9 had the same thing, and I was really looking forward to that anime opening.
Yeah, that is lame. But yeah, those are the two main things I didn't like in terms of the presentation, like the lack of an anime intro and the fact that like there's no in-game cutscene, I guess, of like the character models and stuff like that. But otherwise, I do like the presentation. The music is not...
Yeah, sound, voice acting, music,
the voice acting is great. The voice acting is great. The main character, again, solid. Everyone else, they're cool. They're nothing like insane, but they fit. They definitely fit the vibe. There's nothing that like stand out in terms of like, that sounded weird. Like all of them did a great job. The music I think is okay. Nothing is like really standing out to me right now. In every Disgaea game, there's like a hub world theme, you know, and like, Disgaea 5.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Okay.
Moving on, that's such a good...
You'd buy the vinyl just for Moving On.
Yes, it's such a good hub theme.
Let's go.
Like everything about Disgaea 2 in terms of the soundtrack is great. Disgaea 7... It's not bad, but like I would never go out of my way to like look up a soundtrack from Disgaea 7 so far.
Let's move into gameplay. What do you think about mechanics overall? Anything super stand out in Disgaea 7 that hasn't appeared in other games, or is it kind of a return to form?
It seems like it's a return to form, because the main thing about Disgaea 6 is that they got rid of a lot of staples. But then Disgaea 7, they added a lot of like, because in Disgaea 7, you know, you recruit characters, like generic characters, like to your party and stuff like that. And they got rid of, in the previous game, they got rid of like a lot of like mainstay staples in that game, but they added them back, which is nice. And another thing that I want to add in terms of the presentation, one thing that I like that they added in this game that I'm pretty sure they'd never added in all the other Disgaea games, even 6, is the fact that like you can actually visit the world, the Netherworld that you're going to, and like kind of like there's like a little map that you can like walk around and stuff like that. Because all the other Disgaea games you couldn't do that.
So the Netherworld is its whole like map itself.
Yeah, it's like
it's not just like a room that you go visit with shops and NPCs.
No, it's a world, and then there's like little areas that you go within the Netherworld.
Got it. Because that's kind of just from the demo that I played. I wasn't sure just how much Netherworld we were actually going to be exploring in the game. It seemed just like a hub spot.
Yeah, you're in a hub spot, but then you visit different areas of the Netherworld. Whereas like in terms of like Disgaea 5, where that's more like spacey vibes, and like that one's where it's like each level you visit is its own Netherworld. But Disgaea 7, it's like, okay, no, this is one world. You like go to different areas, and I like that you can actually like visit those areas and move around. Yep. Like that's cool. I like that. Again, I mentioned this earlier in this video where it's like they do a lot of things to make the leveling up easier. The basics of the gameplay is like it's a tactical game to where you have your different units. You can only have a maximum of 10 units on the field, and you know you move them around throughout the grid, and basically everyone's like their attack moves, their special moves. You can like lift up characters and throw them further into the map, which is really cool. And that's basically just like the basic of the gameplay. And like, you know, in the game, you know, you can go all the way up to level 9,999, but that's not necessary to beat the story. Because like I played all the other Disgaea games, you only need to be like a level like around 100 or so to like beat the story. The main like selling point is like all the post-game content, because like there's post-game content that will get you up to that level and stuff like that, which is fine. I've never done that. I don't think I've ever had a character like past 200 or something.
It just seems like they've made that an option to kind of go on brand with just how extra the whole series is.
Exactly, yeah. One of the cool things that I do like is the auto battle thing that they've added since 6, but the thing with the 6 is it's not as great. You can just have that on from the start and just do it as you will. But with Disgaea 7, you can only have auto battle after you beat that stage, so that we can go back for grinding and stuff like that. And you only have like a limited amount where like you get this, I think like demon gas tank or whatever, and like you can use it, but then like every turn it like uses up a meter or something like that. And so you can't just like spam it like you can in 6. Within the Dark Assembly, you can acquire this thing called the cheat shop, where you can, you know, add things to the game to make it even easier for you to level up, where you can be like, okay, well, I want to put more of this experience towards leveling up. Okay, no, I want to put more of this experience towards gaining mana, which is what you use, to use spells or to like use up points for the Dark Assembly and stuff like that. Which like the Dark Assembly is basically just like little courtroom where it's like, I want my character to jump further, and then like, you go to like a courtroom where like all these other people will be like, yeah, I agree with that, or like they'll be like, no, I don't fucking agree with that, and like you either have to bribe them by giving them items, or like to like make them persuade them, or like, and if you lose that, you can either have the option to give up, pay for it, or just fight them by force. But usually the fight them by force option is not great like early game, because all of them are like level 600 while you're like level 2.
I like the idea of a cheat store where you can buy abilities that kind of break your characters.
Exactly.
I think we should have more things like that in other RPGs as well. And give it a name, like a cheat store. And,
and exactly.
Let the players know, hey, we're humiliating you.
Yeah, exactly.
By using this.
For sure. Yeah, and that's what the main thing about this guy is, like, they know that there's a shit ton of levels, so let's make it easier for you to get to those levels and stuff like that. And like, there's also, I think they added in 6, but again, I've only played like an hour of Disgaea 6, called the Juice Bar, which is where another place where you can like level up your characters more. Like every stage you'll gain like a mana potion or a XP potion, and then like that adds up to the juice bar. You can like use that to be like, I just want to get my character up to like level 50 right now, and then you can just like and then bam, they're like immediately level 50. Or like even for different stats, just like I have just 25 points that I can put towards attack on any of my characters, and they have the item shop where you can like make your items stronger, and just so many different things to like just level up your characters like insane. Like honestly, if you wanted to, you could probably just get to like level 200 like right from the start.
Well, I think we basically covered all the big stuff. I don't know if you have any other final thoughts just on either story or gameplay. Or
so far I'm really enjoying the story. I'm definitely enjoying the way just Disgaea as a whole, and Disgaea 7's a lot of fun. Like I said, the small nitpicks, just like the lack of an anime intro, or just not being able to like see in-game cutscenes of my characters, kind of lame. But other than that, like I have no genuine complaints in terms of like the gameplay itself. I do feel like that the gameplay is still fun and interesting, and like not like it's not super easy or super difficult. It's like a pretty solid like difficulty setting, which is great. The whole jumbification system where like you can make your character super huge, or like the hell mode.
Nice.
Because I think they had it in like other games, but they've like changed it up a little bit.
So would you say Disgaea 7 is maybe in your top 3?
Ooh. Honestly, so far, yes. It's been a minute since I played some of the other ones.
You think it's one of the better ones?
So far, yes. I'm hoping other Disgaea fans hate me for that. Right now, I would say Disgaea 2 as my number 1, Disgaea 5 as my number 2, and Disgaea 7 as my number 3.
Well, DJ.
Well, Gavin.
Thank you so much for review.
This isn't a bit. Okay.
Thank you for reviewing Disgaea 7.
Of course, man.
Good game. You recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, yes, I would.
Well, plug your stuff, bro.
I will, man. Hey, guys. I'm DJ, aka Mushroom Man. Me saying that just felt like I was already starting my own video.
Yeah, we're starting a brand new Mushroom Man video right this second.
I'm DJ, aka Mushroom Man. Basically what I do is I do comedic reviews of anime where I talk about and make fun of my favorite shows and stuff like that. I mainly cover One Piece and Black Clover. One Piece is my favorite anime of all time, and Black Clover is an anime that I'm currently getting into, but I like other series as well and stuff like that. So if you like anime, and if you like jokes and things like that, check me out.
Well, thank you for coming on, DJ.
Thanks for having me.
Go check out Mushroom Man. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review. If you like what you've seen here, and you like this kind of content, and you like seeing reviews like this, if you want more people to come on the show like this, or if you just want me and DJ to do more stuff together like this, the door's not closed, guys. So let me know down below in the comments if you like this format of review. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell as well, so that you're notified whenever new videos like this are uploaded. Final thoughts?
Dude.
Into the microphone.
Dude. That's what Prinny say at the end of their sentences.